Those and I tracked it.
Well, we with the point to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, start with public participation. I've got, 1, 2, 3, I got, I guess 3. I thought I had a 4th, but I got 3. I'm gonna start, with, Barb Walton and Denise Testa, both from, the county. Barb is Solid Waste District, Denise is, County Planning Services, Fair Housing. I'll let you two take your pick of who's on first.
She always makes me go first. I brought you all some flyers for the residents, and if you need digital copy, I'll be happy to provide those as well. As he said, my name is Barb Walton. I'm the director of the Medina County Solid Waste District, and I made myself some notes so I could get real quick on this. Those of you that don't know a lot about the Solid Waste District, we are a self-funded, EPA-mandated district. We're here to promote waste reduction and recycling in Medina County. We have 59 drop-off recycling locations. At our campus, we finally separated our residential and commercial traffic, which is, I think, worked out really well. We did that in the fall of '23. So now we have a specialty waste facility that accepts household hazardous waste, electronics, tires, those types of things, 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays. We have a bulk waste drop-off area for your residents. If their hauler will not pick up something large at the curb, they're welcome to bring it to us. Anything 200 pounds or less will cost your residents $6 to dispose of. We have a yard waste facility as well, so we take limbs and trees that might have come down from some of these recent storms that we've had. And anything 200 pounds or less in the yard waste area will cost somebody $2.50 to get rid of. We are currently working on our draft solid waste plan. We're updating that. It is due, the draft is due to Ohio EPA in February of '26. Once that comes back from the EPA, then we'll go out for public comment, and then we'll go out for ratification by all the villages and townships in Medina County. And just so that you know, we have just recently updated, just like last week, updated our website. So Recycle Medina County, all spelled out, recyclemedinacounty.com. And it has all the information. If you have an idea of something that you might want to get rid of, we have a lot of items listed. You can look it up alphabetically and figure out what you can do with it at our facility. So, and at that point, I'll entertain questions if anybody has any. If not, I do have the flyers here that I brought, and we'll be happy to share those with you digitally. One last thing, we are trying to promote safe battery recycling. Some of the fire departments have gotten on board with us. Right now, we've got the city of Brunswick and Liverpool Township that are going to be collecting lithium-ion batteries. We're having a lot of fires that have been happening between trucks catching on fire because of batteries, containers catching on fire, and even in a cul-de-sac, somebody's trash caught on fire because of lithium-ion batteries. So we're trying to get as many of those collected as we possibly can. So you can bring those to our facility on Wednesday and Saturday. So, okay.
The new layout is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, it works really well.
I'm pleased with it. Thank you.
All right, good evening. Yeah, so another trash talk, right? All right, so that's my lead in. That's my lead in. So again, I appreciate you allowing us to come here tonight to highlight not only what our solid waste district can do for you and your residents, but also what Medina County Planning Services and Fair Housing can do for you as well. There are some additional handouts in the back. So our department is dedicated to supporting communities through technical mapping services, which actually the one on the wall I see was last printed in 2013. So if you need an update, please let me know. We also offer planning assistance, zoning guidance, and development review. And we help ensure that your long-term goals of your community promote a well planned and sustainable growth. In addition to planning services, we also serve as the county's fair housing office. So we are countywide, and our office works to uphold the principles of fair housing, by helping residents and landlords understand their rights based on the Ohio Revised Code. We also promote equal access to housing for all. So the majority of our phone calls that we receive are about repairs to rentals, in fact. And we offer resources for residents in cooperation with, on the backside of that fair housing brochure, in cooperation with our communities or our organizations. And as part of our ongoing support as well, we are also beginning to plan for the 2026 Community Development Block Grant, the CDBG program. I'll hire you if you can say that 3 times really fast. And our goal is to help you prioritize infrastructure, public facilities, or critical housing improvements. And that could also be through our Community Home Improvement and Preservation Program, also known as the CHIP. And I noted that before I came here that about 5% of your residents may be eligible for CHIP, which includes a home repair program as well as a home rehab program. In fact, in Medina County, the fastest growing group in poverty is senior citizens, based on the US Census Bureau. So as your residents may come to you and they need maybe a new roof, a window, if they qualify as part of that 5% of your residents, they may qualify for new windows or new roof. Also, Community Action also offers some programs as well. So please feel free to send them to me directly, and I'd be happy to work with them on an individual basis. I also encourage you to start thinking about if there are some CDBG programs our commissioners are looking for big programs this year. We will have approximately $350,000 to allocate to townships and villages. Some of those that you may be interested in, it might include if you're looking to update your comprehensive plan, or if you're looking to update your zoning resolution, that is eligible under the CDBG program. Or if you're interested in removing a physical barrier for disabled adults. Montville recently completed 3 phases of Cobblestone Park in paving over their gravel pathway. So that was a 6-year project, or 9-year project, excuse me. And Hinckley Township, they also received a CDBG project to install a motorized elevator on their historical society building on 303. So that's something to keep in mind. So again, I appreciate you allowing us to come speak with you this evening. And I, as well as Barb, certainly value your partnership to working forward to future initiatives. Can I answer any questions? Did I do okay?
You good. In case anybody's wondering, I'm kind of a stickler at times.
No, you. Whatever made you think that.
The map, you said you updated this?
Absolutely. So we actually just hired Jeff Kassouf, who is our associate planner in our office, and he is an expert in making revisions to zoning maps, and also we can print them as well for you at no charge. Okay.
In that size? We charge hourly?
Yes. No, we're free of
You're
charge.
free, yes.
We are partners, right?
Yes.
Okay.
If we give them that, can we get one back?
Yeah, I was just looking at it online, and we still have, you know, the CAD data and the GIS data that not only can we print that, but if you're needing other maps, like maybe a watershed map or a topography map, or maybe you're wanting to see the different zoning districts and what uses are on within those districts and within those parcels. In fact, I was looking at your park plan, your Westfield Center park plan, and I was trying to figure out, and I visited there as well, you know, are there any CDBG opportunities for your park if you've got, you know, a gravel drive or a gravel walkway that perhaps you could apply for to pave over that gravel driveway. We can't create a pave, but if there's something that we can remove and replace, that could be a CDBG opportunity as well.
That extension coming up. Right.
That's what I was looking at. That's exactly what I was looking at. And I see you have I think there's a playground. And
Now that we do them.
when you, now based on what I saw, when you enter the playground, I don't know if there's a way to get to the playground like maybe in a wheelchair, it looks like there's a gravel drive leading into that playground that might be eligible. So if you have ideas for the grant, or if you need me to come talk about CHIP or anything like that, which we just applied for the PY25 CHIP grant, which will start in 2026. If we receive it, I can come talk to some of your residents that may be eligible for a home rehab or a home repair as well.
Barbara, I hear you say something about codification and things like that.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you say something about codification and records management or something like that?
I just said zoning resolution.
Zoning resolution.
Yeah, so the CDBG has what's called a planning component to it. Harrisville received $12,000 to rewrite their zoning resolution. It typically goes towards hiring a consultant. And then we also worked with Seville, who I believe updated their comprehensive plan. So in 2020, it was Harrisville, in 2022, it was Seville, the village of Seville. On one of your handouts, I believe it's maybe the third or fourth page, there's a list of grants that have been awarded to jurisdictions since 2008. So you can take a look at that and see, what we've awarded in the past. Wadsworth, we got 500,000. Wadsworth gets an automatic 120 because they're a partnering applicant, but the rest, or I'm sorry, 150, but the remaining grant balance would go directly towards our villages and our townships or nonprofits.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. I just sent an email to the mayor this morning, so I appreciate you allowing me to come and speak to you tonight. I sent, well, it's actually to the mayor and to Rick because they've kind of been involved with coming to our fire levy meetings and so on and so forth. I think I'm just going to read this because it kind of covers everything, and then I'll go on a little bit further. We have officially filed all the paper to be on the ballot for the Westfield Fire and Rescue District levy in Westfield Township. Village will not vote on this, but because of our contract with you, it will impact you also if passed. As you know, this is strictly an EMS ambulance levy for 1.5 mils for 5 years. We desperately need to get this passed because of our financial situation to be able to support all of our constituents with safe, reliable, and effective safety services operations, and are asking for your endorsement and support. We also are having 2 fire levy meetings, one on Tuesday, August 18th at 6:30 p.m. and also on Thursday, August 21st at 3:30 p.m. at the Westfield Town Hall. We need to get a levy committee formed to market and inform the public about the importance of this and how it will impact them financially and their safety-wise. It's going to be very important that we get a clear picture of this to every voter, and we need people to get the word out. So, as you know, hopefully the 4th time is the charm. This is the 4th time that we'll have a levy on the ballot for the fire district. The first was in May of 23. That was a 3.5 mil continuous operation that failed miserably. Then in November of 23, we had a 2.5 mil 5-year that failed by was 43% for and 56% against. And then also again last fall or last November, we pretty much had the same levy on, a 2.5 mil for 5-year, and that basically failed at the same rate. So we heard what our constituents were saying, that they don't want to buy new trucks, and we won't be able to buy a new truck. So what we're doing is, rather than a fire levy, this is going to be strictly for EMS and ambulance services. It's not for the fire, just for EMS and ambulance services. The 1.5 mils Well, currently, the current levy was when the district was formed back in 2012. It was at 2.5 mils, but because of property values and currently the effective rate is 1.6 mils. And we're generating, which generates in the township about $211,000. The current levy, taxpayers pay about $51.10 per $100,000 of market value. And the market value, everybody's going to be different on that. You have to go to the county auditor's site. Market value is not necessarily what your home would sell for. It's usually going to be about a third less, approximately. Could be more, could be less, but usually it's going to be about a third less than what your home, and home values continue to increase, but that value is the same. So at 1.5 mils now, for what we're asking for now, the township would be getting an extra $186,400 per year. And if you calculate that out for the village, based on the current assessment, it would be about an extra $150,000 that the village would be paying. So again, this is very important to the township, very important to the village. And as Denise was saying, our population is aging, and I know the fire chief can tell you that, you know, it's an aging population here, and what it really does, it really amounts to more and more calls all the time. So I would like to entertain any questions that you may have. And again, we're not looking for an answer tonight about an endorsement, but I think this is what we have heard from our constituents, that they don't want to pay a lot of money, even though we are by far the lowest in the county. We're about a third of what most fire districts receive as far as compensation is concerned. This will get us up to maybe about a half of where most fire districts are at. So it's going to, we will be able to maintain our EMS and our EMS and ambulance service adequately, and hopefully be able to repair fire trucks. We just spent, what did we just spend? Another, yeah. Just to give you an example, this last week, our firefighters had a terrible week. Yeah, really a month. You want to talk about what happened last week, Jeff?
Yeah, I can. Those that don't know, we did have a what we would consider a mass casualty incident out on I-71 with a family of 6. Now, when I say casualty, it doesn't mean all 6 people were fatalities. What a mass casualty means to us is it quickly outruns our resources that we can provide. Thankfully, we had enough. We were actually at training, so we had a good amount of staff there. We were able to get both of our medic units out the door. We had Seville respond with medic unit, Lodi respond with medic unit. There was one fatality in that, and one of our medic units, everybody went to Akron, whether it was Akron General or Children's, because there was children involved. And while we were transporting to Akron Children's, one of our paramedics had just put a tourniquet on, and one of our medic units blew a tire on 59 over by the hospital. And as soon as you put a tourniquet on, time is of the essence. We don't have time to stop, or we can't take it off. It has to stay on. So they continued about 1.5 miles to 2 miles to the hospital on a flat tire. Thankfully, the patient got there in time. There was no damage to the vehicle besides the tire. The rim was fine. But you know, it's just stuff like that kind of unexpected that we're faced with on an aging fleet, so.
And just, you know, as I was saying, this last levy was from 2012. Tell me what hasn't increased probably tenfold since 2012. And we're dealing with that same money. And kudos to these two guys right here. They have done an exceptional job on holding back, containing funds with how they're even paying. Dave has set up a very unique system that has saved us. What did it save us last year? 20,000?
30,000.
Yeah, which, I mean, 20,000 is a lot of money, but it's not a lot, but to us, $20,000 is a lot of money. So we're really in a desperation time here at the fire district, and we really would appreciate your endorsement and and you can't vote on this, we all know that, but people out in the community, people in the township, and we have to get that word out that the time is now. We have to have these funds.
Speaking of that, Mike, can you articulate at all what your plans are at this point to structure a campaign for this levy?
Well, that's what we're gonna have, these two meetings coming up on the 19th and the 21st, because the trustees can't do it. It has to be an outside source.
I understand that, but you can govern that process.
Right, but we need people to help come and get involved with that. And then it could be you. I mean, you don't have to be a township resident to be able to get involved with the levy committee.
Will this change now that this is a
EMS levy? Will we have to modify the existing agreement if this does pass?
I hadn't thought about that. I need to look at that and see the language of it, and because it's certainly being treated the same way from a voting standpoint.
and the funding is the same.
Right, formulas. So I wasn't prepared for that question. Let me take it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the language states on there. Yeah.
Or maybe an addendum or something, but
Yeah.
something we should be thinking about. If this is
Right.
going to be their approach, if it does pass, great. If it doesn't, then.
Right, if it needs to be modified, we can certainly take that step to clarify that.
Okay. Any other questions for Mike? Appreciate you coming.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anyone else want to address council? Tonight?
Yeah, my name's Cody Booth. I'm Cody Booth.
Okay.
I am here on behalf of this guy and about 100, 200 other little guys like him regarding the baseball fields. I know there has been some conversations, multiple conversations lately on trying to get permission to utilize those fields for our fall season. And we keep getting roadblocked and nobody ever has an answer. So, I'm not playing, my coaches aren't playing, the kids are. There's a lack thereof baseball fields within the community. I don't think that is front page news. I don't understand why there is such a pushback on being able to use the baseball fields for our local boys.
I guess the reason simply would be the cost, and I came ready to speak to that a little bit tonight. We have the hot stove, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Ed, it's like going here, Dave. We have the hot stove, the place here, and they're done now.
Correct.
And they've never been charged. They're part of the Little Baseball Association, and that's the one we've always handled ourselves. Now, what's being asked now is to expand beyond that into the fall ball. And first, I guess, but help with the discussion, how many games are you talking?
Approximately 7 home games for fall. That's it.
7 games, period.
Correct.
Okay, plus practices.
That would be nice, but I guess that
Well,
we
yeah.
take what we can get at this point. There's too many other, so Cloverleaf Youth Baseball has locked up pretty much, and there's been a pretty good amount of teams throughout the age groups there. So the other fields like Chatham, Lodi, Lafayette, the schedules are packed. So it can't accommodate everybody. And to tell the kids they have nowhere to play, you know, I don't know if anybody up there has ever watched The Sandlot, but I don't know that I would want to tell a kid that, hey, man, you ain't got nowhere to play.
I think council has to hear a couple things here. 7 games, and I know from talking with Dave, when it comes to using those fields, when it's a practice, our guys simply open the gate and you have practice.
Correct, so there's nothing, doesn't need lined or anything like that.
No problem. But when we do have a field, our field setup runs just a little over $200 to get a field setup. Now, I think council needs to decide whether they want to run 7 more games for, is this hot stove?
It's travel ball. It's above hot stove.
Hot stove.
Correct.
What's the name of the league?
The Mac Bulldogs, so we're playing in the Norway and Fall Ball League. So
Okay.
that's one of the big reasons, because this is like most centralized between us and all the teams that we're playing. You know, we're all going back and forth, and we've been, if this doesn't work out, then we're gonna have to probably nix all of our home games or try to go to Medina. And at that point, I can foresee probably a lot of teams saying, hey, we're not coming that far.
What age group is this?
10U,
And where are most of the kids coming from?
Cloverleaf, or on our team,
Yes.
or you mean in the league in general?
Your team.
Most of the kids on my team are Cloverleaf
These are
boys,
all-
yeah, that I've coached for 4 years now.
When's the season start? When is it?
Our first game is the 14th of August.
Dave, is that an issue for you?
We're stretched fairly thin going into the fall. 7 games, if there's just one team and we're only prepping one field, we can make that work.
After August? Starting in August?
Yes, well, starting in what, about 10 days? If its games are on the 14th.
I think the thing council has to think of is one is we're getting other, there are other, I've had other names here of people who have contacted me about baseball. So others interested, so I wanted to put it on to them. Your name isn't on a list of people who contacted.
I bet you one of them is, that has to do with me.
Pardon me?
So I bet you a few of them has to do with me.
So,
We've all tried.
So you mean, what you're saying is people have contacted us.
Do you know
or
the other
contacted-
name
are
that,
talking on your
yeah,
behalf?
might have.
Yes, Jansen is contacting
But
you guys.
it's not a duplicate, as in
Yeah.
we're looking for other leagues or.
Yeah, no,
That's what we're
it's,
trying to figure out.
so Jansen, he's my assistant coach. His boy also goes to Cloverleaf as well. He actually works for the Medina City. He's in charge of all the parks, and he actually oversees all the baseball fields. So if there's anybody that to know about what goes into it and all that stuff, it's him. He's been, and Medina has, I think, over 20 baseball fields that they have to take care of and do the exact thing you're talking about right now. And most of those fields are not, they don't charge to rent them. And I understand Medina is a lot bigger community. I get that. A lot more, majority of the communities around us are a lot bigger. Medina can afford to pay their city employees to take care of those fields and have them ready. Wadsworth does the same thing. That's, at being in Cloverleaf, we've never had that luxury. It was always this guy lining the fields, dragging the fields. So, you know, I put a lot of my money, my time into it for these guys, you know, and I don't ever ask for anything in return. So if it came down to it on the fact of lining the fields, if I could have the liner available or the equipment that you probably have sitting there, I would be more than happy to do that free of charge.
We've held to the we do it. That way they look the way they do. Not that you wouldn't do a good job.
Yeah.
But we won't change that.
Okay.
We're gonna do it. I think council, it takes 2 people, Dave estimates, $20 an hour, 2 hours, for $92 to set them up. And for games, it's about $103 when you got a $30 an hour guy there for 3 hours with retirement center. So it's about $200. So 7 games is not the end of the world. They had 7 games. I mean, I think we could live with 7 games.
So we would only be prepping the fields for games.
Games.
Games, yes.
Not practice.
Not practice.
But they can still use the
He
field
just
for
opens them up.
practice.
Correct, Dave? Am I coming across here straight up?
Now, are we talking about more than one team coming into practice?
So just ours,
So you're talking about using one field?
correct.
Okay.
Can we clarify that the people that have come to us are coming on behalf of the city? Do you have that information? In other words,
The one who filled out the permit is
Jensen filled out a permit.
okay, so we don't have
multiple.
multiple baseball organizations
No.
looking for the field.
But we have other, I have another name here. Emily.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't
You too?
conflict with us at all.
So we don't, we
It's
have
about 2
one,
minutes
we
down
have,
the road, so.
we don't have more than one team asking to use it.
That's where I was trying to.
I don't have any, for $1,500, $1,400 to
Do it.
support the kids, I have no problem.
Cody.
Particularly since Dave says.
You're talking to the right people, because in this room
Field league
are
baseball.
3 past presidents of the Westfield Baseball Association, okay? I won't say who they are, but, all right? You have a sympathetic ear. We appreciate what you're trying to do with these young men.
I appreciate it. It's not, I understand, years ago it was Westfield, Lafayette, Chatham, they all had their own individual thing, and we've obviously been involved with Cloverleaf Youth Baseball since T-ball. It's something he loves, and I don't see him quitting it anytime soon. So again, we don't have the luxuries that the surrounding cities do. We got to deal with what we have, and we all would really appreciate it if we could be able to use them. And I do, and believe me, we realize those are nice fields, and the respect of that. He goes to a Guardians game, their eyes are this big around because how cool it is and nice it is. He knows what a nice field is, so we respect the fields. You don't have to, on my behalf, you have my word that there's nothing that would happen from our club as far as that would cost you any money, period, or disrespect to those baseball fields.
We need to make a motion. We need a motion.
So, we're gonna do this. You're gonna need to call in and talk to Chrissy so she can schedule those games
Okay,
on the calendar and get them today.
okay.
And practices,
Dave?
I'm Dave.
Okay.
and practices also,
Yeah,
so that he knows, what to do there.
okay.
Just open it, that's not.
As long as, is there bases out there or are they locked up?
They're out there.
The bases
Yeah,
are,
they were
okay,
locked
yeah,
up.
for practices, all we need is bases. We don't need it lined or anything, so.
Okay, motion and a second to add the 10U
Bulldogs,
Bulldogs, for use our fields for 7 days.
I'll make a motion that we permit the Mac Bulldogs U10 baseball team to utilize the Westfield Park ball fields for the 2025 fall baseball season.
Second.
All those in favor?
appreciate it, guys.
It
Thank
pays
you.
to come.
Appreciate it. It does pay to
We
come.
were gonna talk about it. I mean, I had the paperwork here, but I don't know, I didn't have enough
Yeah.
specifics, so.
Well, we went to,
Appreciate you.
I live 5 minutes down the road on Harris Road, and, we got Lodi there too, and last year, it was brought to my attention, kind of the same scenario. We had a hard time getting on that field because Worcester softball was running it, and, I just didn't see how our local kids here were struggling and were letting an outside community utilize our stuff. So I had went to the village meeting there, and within a matter of 5 minutes, they did exactly what you just did, and they weren't aware, and they passed a motion to give Cloverleaf Youth Baseball priority to the schedule. So it means a lot for everybody around all these communities to help out, because again, the baseball fields are few and far between around here.
Well, we have good ones and we are proud of them, want to obviously
Yeah.
keep them that way. And our financial situation, although solid, isn't what it was.
Yeah.
So we are a little more careful with what we do with some of this stuff.
Absolutely, I totally understand.
So, thank you for coming tonight. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Soak up the good rest of the meeting, or you can.
Yeah, we gotta get dinner on.
You can move on out.
Yeah, so who do I call again? Or
Chrissy.
Chrissy?
Chrissy.
Okay, and then she'll pass it along to Dave?
She will, she keeps the calendar.
Gotcha.
You'll sign that application, right? It sounds like they filled out an application to use the field.
It's on Jensen's name, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll sign that. Yes.
Get that back to me.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, so thank you guys. Again, I know you guys obviously have a lot bigger issues to worry about, but we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Cody, would you come up here and sign this, Devil?
Yeah.
It's not signed by the applicant. Jensen
That's
put it
all right.
in, but you need to sign. Just sign it there.
Can you make sure your phone number's on there?
Yes, ma'am. You're trying to put this anywhere?
Yeah. Just put- You look at the other side.
Eight, five.
Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right,
Thank all of you.
Thank you for your time with the boys.
Yep. Thank you guys for what you do.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Talk to Chrissy,
Yeah,
just put on bases and pitching rubber.
okay. 65-46.
At 10 youth?
Yep.
Okay.
65 bases.
An overlap.
It's good to know.
Well, I didn't know.
Thank you.
Different people. Anybody else want to address now? Everybody else? Can I have a motion to accept the minutes of the budget hearing and the regular council meeting last month?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I heard a disparaging word. Can I have a motion to pay the bills?
Move the papers.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Hey, Dave, one question. Was that the last load of salt that we were allocated?
That's from our last year's carryover. Right. That's what I thought. Yeah. So we won't be ordering anything till next year.
Can I have a motion to accept the fiscal officer's monthly financial reports?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, old business. North Scout project, Roland Filak is here tonight with a helper. And they're going to talk about, or ask us what we want, go for it.
So my name is Lowell Filak, and I am the committee chair for the local church. What we're looking for, and we decided to approach council about this, is a yearly project that the scouts could help out with. It would be something you don't need to have an individual there, but it would be a conservation project. Every scout that is going for life rank needs to participate in a conservation type of project. And what that entails is for the life rank, it can be picking up litter, it can be planting trees, erosion control, removal of invasive species, a river cleanup, or educating others about conservation. We would like, as a troop, we would like to provide the scouts with a yearly option to complete their hours that are required for that rank. It's something we haven't done in the past, but we figured if you have something, then we can make that available to them. Now, what we would do is we would schedule that on a yearly basis. So probably in the spring or something, if it was a cleanup project, we would tell them this is the day that the troop has scheduled to go out to the park, let's say, and pick up trash or whatever the project is. But we would like to make it something that's reoccurring if possible. There is, I think I discussed with the mayor briefly about some work that was being done on a new property that was purchased, correct? And if there are simple projects that can be done there, they can still be different types of projects. But we could break that up, we could help with some of those over a period of years, whatever works for the village.
How many boys would be showing up for the project?
So we have about 15 in the troop, and so the ones that are going for life rank varies each year, depends on where they are in their rank advancement. But let's say we have 5 show up at Public 10, we also have adults that would be there to help out too. So you're looking at a fairly small group,
Okay.
but I would expect that we would have at least a few show up each
How many
time.
hours do they have to get to? How many hours do they need to get from?
6. Is it 6 or 3? I think it's 3 hours.
Okay.
6 hours total, 3 have to be conservation.
So it'll be like a Saturday morning or an evening sometime.
Yep.
Maybe you think something like that could work in that new 43 acres, cutting in a trail or something, or is that just too off the church?
That's what I was thinking. You get your bike stuff back there too.
On a reoccurring basis,
Well,
so you think about just going so far each year in a trail or?
You know, what about like, I know there's a lot of buckthorn and stuff like that in that property. If we could identify the locations of all the invasive species, that's something that would lend itself more to an annual effort. Is that?
Can we move buckhorn from back here?
What's that?
Are we, is that one of, can we do that back in there?
Yeah, I'm gonna say we're somewhat limited. to
Yeah, what we
can
can,
do,
what we
but
can
I-
do.
We can really
Invasive
talk to Jacob.
species can be eliminated. We just can't cut trees.
Maybe we should get Jacob involved. If we're gonna talk about that property. Cause he would know more.
Yeah.
than we know.
well, I would take a sit down with
Yeah.
him and the park committee and
When are you looking to start this?
In the coming year. So our new year is starting in September for the most part.
September?
Yeah, September.
I think it'd be a good idea to get Jacob involved. We could, that would be so, Jacob's with the Western Reserve Historical, not historical.
Conservation, and who helped us acquire that property.
And, you know, that's in a conservation easement basically, so we've got covenants we have to abide by.
What we can and can't do, but it doesn't mean we can't do something. I'm not exactly sure what it is.
But they might have a program themselves that they can kind of roll out this right on top of it.
One to both.
how about you two setting up a meeting with Jason and Lowell and 4 of you sit down and work something out.
Jason or Jacob?
Jacob, excuse me.
All right, thank you.
Sound good? Lowell?
It's a matter of how and what. I think we want to try to assist.
Thanks for your patience, by the way.
That's not a problem. Thank you.
The right spot.
Well, can you give us either your phone number or your email address or something?
Yeah, I can give it to you right after the meeting or. if
Yeah,
you
that'd be
want.
great.
Yeah.
Okay. Move on to new business. Anybody have any old business? Any other old business? Ordinance 2025-3, an ordinance updating the village codified ordinances. That's an attachment back there. I'm sure everybody memorized that. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to adopt?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 2, resolution 2025-13, a resolution for delinquent debt collections. Before we jump into this, Debbie, you want to explain what's gonna happen there?
This is primarily geared toward income tax, collections. We have, a couple that just, you know, are trying to get payment from them. We exhausted our resources there. So the Attorney General, they have set up a program that's been in place for several years where they will go out and we'll do an agreement with them and they will try to collect this money for us. And they add a like 10% surcharge on top of what
Is due.
yeah, is due. So there wouldn't be any out of pocket for us on this. And they collect for 10 years. It's like an active collection and they can pull from lottery winnings, state and federal income tax refunds, like that to collect this debt. I think it's a good solution for the income tax department.
Sounds great.
You say we only have 2 or 3 though?
And a motion to suspend the rules?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? A motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, item 3, resolution 2025-14, the resolution authorizing participation in the opioid settlement against Purdue. There's an attachment in there. Got a vote to suspend?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to adopt?
So moved.
Questions?
Is this gonna be has the money been allocated?
With the yeah, and the way the village is set up with these settlements is the money that we would collect, because we're so small and really don't have an avenue to have a big drug program or anything like that, we give that money to the county. So, you know, if we do get $100 or $500 from the settlement, that would automatically roll to the county.
This is part of, remember when Forrest came and talked to us?
Yeah, but is this still going, is this the same
One
one?
Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah, this, that's the one.
So that was a couple $100. We were desperate.
This is the municipal equivalent of the $10 like gift card.
Yeah.
You get when you're part of the class action settlement. This is kind of municipal equivalent of that. So, nice.
All right, we're all on board with this. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Item 4, just to inform council that there is one liquor permit in town, and we got a letter giving us a window to object to that. There never been any concerns with it, so I let it pass.
Oh, all right, thank you.
So I just let it pass, and I just wanted to let you know that it had come and they let that pass.
Do they have one permit for multiple locations?
That's what I was, thank you.
I
only have one.
It might itemize in that letter.
I didn't read it that close, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, since we've.
I
not
knew
had
there were
any
no
problems.
issues, so
It's always covered the M center.
Right, that's what I thought. I was just wondering if it was one that was for one user and it covers multiple locations.
Sorry.
It wasn't me.
Item 5, the village electricity pricing renewal. We have our community energy advisors who are, right, Debbie, working on this for us?
Yes, they are. I've sent them our current bills. They will be getting pricing within the next few months. Typically, in the past, what they've done is they've advised us, you know, to move quicker rather than waiting. So I'm maybe next month we'll see something.
Okay. Item 6, Medina fiber has been purchased, I understand, by Omni. I've talked with Aaron off and on about this, and my most recent conversation, I asked him to find out if we're gonna get our money ever, or if I should just shut up and take my seat. So that's where that is.
We're gonna.
We should still, we were one of the few that stood up for them when they needed help.
Well, Brunswick, Medina, Wadsworth, and Seville a little, and us, yes, And it's been 13 years, I think, and I have felt there's never been any intent to pay. That's what I felt. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. But now that they're selling, I would be really disappointed if they sold that and let the debt sit into the sale. I mean, that's generally not what happens, I don't think. I believe when you buy it, you buy the whole thing and you gotta pay the debt off, but maybe not, maybe not. But anyhow, Aaron has been good enough to work on this. It's really not his job. It's the Port Authority, but Aaron's the closest thing I've got to that, so that's where that sits. Any questions? Fire away, but basically.
Well, what is the status?
I don't have an update right now. I'm working on getting some additional information. And that is one of those that's kind of tricky because it depends on which hat I'm wearing at the moment that I'm asking the question. So it's, but more as a kind of outside of the realm of this seat is how I'm trying to get some of those questions.
We made multiple payments, right? Early
Well,
on.
the thing with that is that it was to be, well, if anything ever happened or whatever, you remember. However, once, well, and it didn't half of it happen or 3/4. They took every dime. It tells me they expected to take it. I don't know that, but I felt like they expected to take it because they took every dime. Anyhow, you notice I'm a little keyed up on that one. Anyhow, we'll see. Just a bad move by the village, that's all. Okay, item 7, the slope clearance. The engineers had offered us, and then Dave responded on a positive to clear the slope and save about $60,000-$70,000. And I thought it was kind of a no-brainer, but I've been talking to a few people up here, and it's not such a no-brainer because we do pick up some exposure by doing that. And with that in mind, I think, as far as I'm concerned, Jason, I'll put it back in.
What?
Put it back in. Yeah, the company do it. I don't know how about anybody else feels, but
I think
hadn't thought about the
$70,000 is a bargain to keep our guys from getting embroiled in the village in a dispute over what was taken, how it was taken, what was not reclaimed, what was destroyed. And just leave it all with another entity that, is tasked with doing it under contract.
Yeah, if that's the route we go, we'll try to get quotes first. I think that you have to be under 75 to go to bid, so I would have Dave get quotes, and if we are under 75, we have to do it separate from the actual project. It needs to be cleared before winter because the poles need to be moved by the utility companies. So it's not just throwing it in with the original project, it'd be a separate
bid, and whoever gets the bid, does the village bid it or you bid it? You bid it, don't you?
Well, I'm hoping you don't have to bid it at all.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, whatever.
Yeah, hopefully you can just.
You guys run the thing, we don't.
If you have to bid it, it would be its own little project, yeah. We could have it for you.
Even if it isn't bid, you guys run the project.
If it isn't bid,
Pardon me?
if it isn't bid,
Even if it isn't bid, we want you guys to run the project.
okay, I work with Dave on getting that done, yeah.
Okay.
But if it's under if we get
If it's
somebody to
under
do it under
75,
yeah, you could just call and get a quote, if the guy says 74, then he can just pay him.
So we're talking the Granite Roads.
Yeah, once the easements are staked out, and there's a visual delineation.
Yeah, because it's not staked.
No, I know.
Have you heard anything on getting that staked?
Yeah, it's scheduled for Thursday.
This Thursday?
Yes.
No.
Not till next summer. Well, the clearing could begin as soon as it's staked, but we have, and easements are signed.
While we're talking about this, I'm adding an item, OHM, $6,700.
Yeah.
4,100 for legal description and 2,600 just to stake it. So,
Yeah, this was on, this was on the original proposal, but it was an if authorized task. We actually did the legal description, and that was my fault, I didn't realize it was an unauthorized task, but, so the 2,600 is to come out Thursday and stake it.
so you're only the 26, is that what?
No, both are need to be done, but.
Both of them,
yeah.
okay. So can I have a motion to pay OHM $6,700 for these two items? So. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Well, this was part of their contract, right? Yeah, this is an extra.
It was in the contract, but it's an add-on task. It wasn't, we were gonna do it until we were told to do it.
Item 8, I threw the car show on there just to see if there's any comments anybody wants to make, or if you're all ready to go, or.
Everything's moving smoothly. This is early on. Chrissy handles everything. With
You got all your personnel and all that?
publications. We haven't worked on that yet.
Oh, okay.
We're good.
Okay, you're good. If you're good, you're good. That's how I like to mark them off here.
Jim and I are ready to down balance.
Chrissy said she was, great. She said just letting things down. She was going to order a whiteboard. That was her last task.
Okay, item 9, just for information, if you don't know, probably you do, that Westfield Bank was sold. And so the name will be changing to.
Can you give an update?
Yeah, do it.
So if you haven't heard, there was a press release, about 30 days ago. First Financial Bank out of Cincinnati purchased, an agreement came that they purchased Westfield Bank from Ohio Farmers Insurance Company. Currently, right now, everything is in the regulator's hands to basically seal the deal. That's anticipated to be done sometime in the fourth quarter of 2025. And at that time, when the regulators approve it, that's when the name will change from Westfield Bank to First Financial Bank. And then we go into what we call conversion, and that is basically getting everything changed over from Westfield Bank to First Financial, signage, all the marketing, all of that kind of stuff. And that's anticipated to take through the first quarter of 2026. First Financial Group is a very large community bank. They wanted a presence in Northeast Ohio. They're very heavily in Cincinnati, Columbus. They actually have banks in 5 states: Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan. They basically are going to call this the Northern Ohio region. So it'll basically, if you could draw a line like Route 30 North, okay? They're actively looking at additional locations in this area. They knew we were building a new bank in Wadsworth, and they were very excited about it. Actually, that will be the last project I have for them. And then I will be retired. But it's really good. They're keeping all of the customer facing people for the bank. They understand the importance that, people are at a bank because of the customers, not because of the name on the door. And that's very important for them. So that's good. And Westfield, the Village of Westfield Center is a customer of Westfield Bank. I asked them briefly about the ATM, and they really like the ATM in our parking lot. They don't like the color of it, but it will probably just give it a facelift and that. So that's.
They'll keep the bank here in Westfield?
There's no plans on changing anything at this point in time. So everything is going to be status quo. That's what I'm being told. Everybody I have met from First Financial, and I'm on weekly meetings now. They're all very nice. They understand the Westfield Bank culture. They understand Westfield Bank's philosophy and how important we are in the community and stuff. So, and they don't want to have any interruption of any of that service or quality and that with their customers. So, I think it's a good thing. You know, the insurance company needed to focus on insurance and that, so.
Hey, Rick. Do they plan on, for our information, are they purchasing the building or just the name?
No.
Well,
You're
Westfield
talking
still-
about this building?
Yeah, well,
That
Westfield
building will be
still,
owned by Ohio Farmers owns all the buildings.
okay, I didn't know if
Now, we'll still be just a tenant in the building.
okay. We'll keep it that way. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? That's low down on what happened. You're in close to it. You're in close to it. All right, I'm adding an item. Next item would be water plant shutdown. Rick, did you get a chance to?
I have not had a chance to get it.
Well, Dave, tell us about the water plant.
Medina County was told by the EPA to shut the plant down due to a gas and oil well that was drilled 60 feet within the radius that they had, what they call the wellhead protection of the water well that's down on Westfield Road.
Yeah, they just were down there last week, right?
They've been down there for a while.
Yeah. So right now, the source water for the plant doesn't exist unless they bring it in from the north. And that's basically all I've been told on so far.
I'm trying to get a hold of the head of the engineering department.
So we don't.
What's going on?
Well, if that's shut down, then our water has to be coming from across the divide, doesn't it?
Right now, it is, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, probably like here.
yeah, okay.
When this occur?
We just heard about it about 3 weeks ago. So it had been going before that.
Are these
so-
those derricks that are down on South Westfield on the east side of the road across the tracks? In that field,
Yep.
is that where it is?
Right over the track, yeah.
So some state agency approves the well drilling, the oil well drilling. And then another state agency says, you gotta shut your water down.
Well, and part of that too is there's a license agreement there. That water source is under the license agreement, property was recently sold. And because it was bidder, but not the high bidder on that. Somebody else owns it now, but that changes something. I mean, the rights are still there. But if you can't safely pull out the water, then it's, you know, the shutdown is ordered because of the proximity of that other activity. Discretion of the owner.
Are you hearing how they'll solve this?
What's that?
Are you hearing how they will solve this?
No, I haven't heard that. I haven't got that for you.
Okay.
I haven't.
So is there any issue with how long we can continue getting water from other sources? Or is this just Medina County's problem solved, where our towers are concerned?
Yeah, it's basically Medina County's
So
problem.
this is gonna be more or less seamless or transparent to us? How they solve it?
Must be, it's been going on for 3 weeks.
Yeah, the water's not running through the plant, sewer plant, so it's gonna be, I mean, if it's down, if they shut it off completely, it'll be about a $12,000 to $15,000 a year reduction in that revenue. At the sewer plant.
That's the effluent water that comes out of the plant when they run the plant.
Yeah.
We get a fee for that.
Okay, I have no other new or old business. Anybody have any?
Yes, I do.
Go for it.
So tree lighting ceremony, I was approached by an outside group within the village. And this year, something new to add to the tree lighting ceremony would be a live nativity. And they would have, it would be people, and it's just for that night, but they thought it would be something, you know, for the kids to be able to have animals or whatever. They could add that type of thing. So I talked with Aaron about that yesterday, and we can do it. We authorized a full permit. It's not the tree lighting committee that's doing it, it's actually an outside committee, more or less, that kind of would report to the tree lighting committee on it. But it would add something new to the ceremony.
Did we get to dress the mayor up like Joseph?
Well, we were thinking of the name.
Oh, come on.
A wise man would be a stretch.
Tom, what would a lion
Oh, they're hitting low tonight, boy. They are, wow.
So is that an additional expense to the committee, or is it this, they doing this on their,
They're doing it on their own.
Oh,
It happens to
perfect.
be something that
Used to do
within
it
the
with the
village.
church.
by
Bring the camels
Tracy
in.
Penrose and I got it. Yeah.
Sounds great.
There's no animals.
Sounds good. They're gonna be there probably grazing a day or two before you.
No.
Okay, that's good. All right. Wow. Any other newer old business? Jason, engineer.
Just the update, the OPWC application due next month, we'll be asking for a grant, of 149,999. That maximizes our score. Last year I asked for like 230 and we didn't get it, but I dropped it down to maximize. So that'll be, next time we meet, I should have it submitted already. That's it.
Be open.
I have a question.
Sure.
It has more to do with the slope. And I'm not sure what the cost would be, or if it's something we can even consider if that horse is left the barn or not. But I was walking the village last night. Before. Instead of us paying to have poles removed, poles replaced, and new line ran, with dropping a couple transformers at each end of this project, and doing underground utilities through there, would that be something we could consider?
The poles are not being moved at your expense. The utility companies are responsible for that. Everything that you're paying for is the actual slope and sidewalk. Yeah, that's the utility. If the utility company, we can suggest that they do that, but
I'm just curious, if that's something that we could, maybe put a lane like.
Yeah, I know.
Back here down through there as opposed to like street lights on poles.
yeah, we're in contact with, we're trying to get in contact with every utility company that has something on those
I don't know
poles.
if anybody else.
It's just a thought that
Well,
I've had.
I think any opportunity we get overhead lines underground.
Underground.
Yeah, I can absolutely bring up that,
But
there's
it's their call.
difference, but it's their call, yeah.
I mean, you can drop a transformer right over here from Sue's place.
Now, what if-
I don't know if the company would get involved with it, run all the way to the entrance to the club since they're tearing all that out, putting the pool in.
We could definitely bring it up. If the utility company would say the village has to pay the difference of overhead versus underground, is that entertainable or?
Depends on the amount, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's worth a discussion.
Like you said too, I wondered about that from the end of the project, because the next properties are almost all OFIC. If they wouldn't want that buried all the way through there.
I don't know. It's
I'll
just
bring it,
something-
definitely, I'll bring it up. It's a good idea. Yeah,
That's
that's- No, it's a good idea. I'll bring it up to him.
Police report, or anything else, Jason? Okay, police report.
I got a note that Rocket Fest was gonna go on this Saturday. I didn't get the times or anything. So it's gonna be the last one in memory of the person that started it. So there's gonna be a car show on Westfield Road this weekend. Supposedly it's the last one. Last month, we had a resident in our village that was causing concern. I was getting welfare check after welfare check for the lady. Didn't feel like she was in the best, safest situation because we don't have the necessities for her to be provided in this community. So I reached out to Alternative Paths, Job and Family Services, and the I guess it's the Office for Older Adults, and we collaborated, and I believe at this point she's getting the help she needs. So that really came out to be a very good outcome on that. I was very happy with the outcome. They worked very hard to help us out, to help her out, to get her in a better spot.
So she's no longer living within the village?
I can't say for sure she's not, but I'm about 95 to 99% sure she is. She's gonna be in, they're gonna find more appropriate housing. So that's kind of where we left things when I talked to them last. Now, it's not something that I continue to follow up on. But when I talked to them last, it was, they were gonna find her a more suitable housing that would provide her the services that she would need to adequately survive, you know, groceries, healthcare, things like that we don't have in this village. So like I said, they worked hard. It was a good outcome. I'm, you know, there's no 100%, but I'm pretty sure that they're gonna do that. I gave this to the mayor. I wanted to read this to you really quick. On 7/1/25 at approximately 4:30 PM, Sergeant Paul Shisminos observed a vehicle northbound Westfield Road at a high rate of speed. Sergeant Shisminos was able to determine the vehicle speed using visual observations and electronic speed devices. On obtaining probable cause to conduct a traffic stop, Sergeant Shisminos attempted to stop the violator. Sergeant Shisminos followed the vehicle north on Westfield Road, east on 224 and west then west on Route 224, and once again north on Westfield Road. His emergency lights and sirens were activated at that time. As the vehicle continued north on Westfield Road from US 224, it was slowed by an unknown vehicle. But when that vehicle turned off on Buffum Road, the target vehicle that Sergeant Shisminos was following accelerated. The vehicle continued north on Westfield Road, reaching speeds of 81 miles an hour. I don't know if you've ever run fast on Westfield Road. It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
You know you are doing 81 miles an hour. All right, vehicle continued for an extended period of time on Westfield Road before catching up to slower traffic. The guy was smart enough when he got to slower traffic to realize he wasn't going to get away, and he pulled into a driveway that did not belong to his. He was subsequently charged with fleeing and eluding. Sergeant Shisminos followed the policies of and procedures of the Westfield Police Department, and it was a very good outcome to that. So I want to let you know, in case you heard something about that did occur last month. And it was for watching the entire thing. I've reviewed body cam, I reviewed dash cam. Lodi Police backed up Sergeant Shisminos on that. And it was a good, safe outcome. He did everything basically by the book on that one.
Was this violator just, I mean, was he just speeding and then decided to flee? That was
He wasn't involved in anything else. He didn't have a driver's license. He was under suspension. There was a special needs adult in the car with him. They were using the cut. A lot of people use the cut through from Worcester to Medina using Westfield Road. They were using the cut through. I guess he was hoping that either Sergeant Shisminos wouldn't chase him, wouldn't follow him, wouldn't continue to pass the village limits. I'm not sure exactly what he's thought. There was a history there.
jurisdictionally, this is for my own edification. If the violation occurs here and the violator flees the limits of the village, we still have jurisdiction.
Yes,
And
yes.
chase that person anyway.
It'd be a continuing course of conduct. So we would, as long as the violation is here, the initial violation, we can pursue outside.
Did Paul radio for assistance from the county at all when he was going north?
He radioed for assistance, just the closest car was Lodi. So the sheriff's office came, but Lodi was the closest and the first on scene with him. So it really worked out well. We're still have that strong positive working relationships with both of our neighboring villages and the sheriff's office. So it was I just thought it was a very positive outcome, and I thought I would share that with you. He does a great job. Stats for July.
We had 19 calls for service. 2 of those were officer initiated, 6 resulted in reports. We had no traffic crashes in the village. We had extra patrols, we had 85, vacation watches, we had 49 for 134 activities. Agency assists, the EMS, fire and EMS, we had 7. The sheriff's office was 12, which was a high month for us on that. State Highway Patrol, we didn't have any. Seville 2, Lodi 1, and other agencies, which was, I put that under there, the alternative pass, because we did do an assist with them on the, what I just spoke about. Traffic stops, we had 20. We had 1 criminal, that was the pursuit. And there was also a citation in there. We gave 19 warnings. Lastly, we'd like to present this to you for consideration. I will explain this to you. But I spoke with the mayor about this. He thought I should present this.
Let me see what it is.
The manpower.
But go ahead, it's done. It's done, that's okay.
I thought Mayor, I'm sorry, I thought we talked outside about that.
We did. At the right time. This is the time.
I apologize, that's my mistake.
Miscommunication.
I've spoken with Sergeant Shizmenos on occasion. He's basically told me that his tenure as a full-time officer is short. He hasn't given me a date yet. I've talked to him about staying on as in a part-time capacity. He's been interested in that. What I did was I kind of broke down what it would take for 16 hours a week to cover, days off and then some vacation time. I put in there that the coverage hours would be not to exceed 440. And that would be 11 weeks out of the year. At his current rate, I'd like to keep him on. If this does occur, I would like to keep him on as a sergeant, because it gives me some opportunity to, in the hiring process, and when he does step down, to allow maybe a younger person to be brought in that can be trained. I also put almost a mock schedule. There's nothing set in stone. None of this is set in stone. It's kind of a mock schedule to that it would kind of look like, what a monthly schedule would look like.
I think maybe when the time comes, Finance Committee would talk about this. That's what I thought.
This would amount to going from 2 full-time to 2 full-time and 1 part-time.
Yes.
David, Paul hasn't given you any indication on when he's considering retiring.
He really hasn't. He has talked about, it being short. He's talked about, maybe the end of the year, beginning of next year. I just wanted to try to get prepared for it, try to get ahead of the game on this, and just kind of write up a proposal for that. So.
When we go start doing our planning and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I thought. When we planned, we should expect that. Okay. Appreciate it.
One question I have for you, have you had any conversation with Dan about the sale of the bank? And how that impacts their?
I have had conversation with Dan about that, and we have talked a few times on that, but
He has heard nothing,
Okay.
so he doesn't have much to give as far as what that looks like for them. We all know the ultimate outcome as of right now, but we don't know how that looks.
Okay.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
Just
Judy.
one more comment from a resident. They had approached me and asked for some extra speeding patrol. It's in the 7100 block of Greenwich. They've just consistently noticed the speeders. They were hoping not for a sign, but possibly your presence.
Take care of it.
7100 block, boy, that puts us in big time. I love how you describe where houses are.
Sorry.
Oh, that's
Going back to old dispatching days.
That's okay. We used to live there. Sounds too much like a policeman. All right.
Westfield Road.
Anything else for the chief? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, fire department.
Okay, monthly activity report for July, we had a total of 53 runs, 31 to the township, 13 to the village. 1 to Canaan Township, 2 to Seville, 3 to Lodi, 1 to Homer Township, 1 to Lafayette Township, and 1 to Litchfield Township. 31 of those calls were during day shift hours from 8 AM to 8 PM. 22 were from 8 PM to 8 AM. Again, we gave mutual aid 9 times. We received mutual aid 11 times. And then on page 3, the little pie chart there, doesn't have it all broke down, but that's the first time that I can remember, almost I think in my career here in Lafayette. We had 47% was EMS calls. The other 53% were fire related runs. So pretty much our fire side was busier in July than our EMS side was.
Of course it is, because you just asked for the MS money. Carefully.
Department updates. For July, we billed out $25,031.60 for EMS billing money. Cost recovery, which is our MVA fire billing, we've billed out to date $18,513.37. And we've only received $745.62. We had 15 resident transports, 11 non-resident transports, and 2 mutual aid non-resident transports. We haven't missed any calls for service. And then just under general, Assistant Chief Young and I attended the Ohio Fire Chiefs Development Conference on July 15th and 16th. It's always a great event to attend as we get leadership hours for our Ohio Fire Chiefs credential. I'm just gonna breeze through the equipment. We had a lot of equipment purchases this month. And a lot of them were made possible due to the $25,000 donation from the Westfield Group Foundation. Again, we're talking about cost. Engine 1 went to Fallsway Equipment for the foam pump not working. Total cost for that repair was $2,019.09. And then 2 new front tires for Medic 1. That was part of the call I was discussing due to the blowout. We replaced both front tires. We did hire 2 new members, Isaiah Helton and Blake Paul, both are firefighter 2 EMT basics. And then under the community, I wanted to thank anybody that knows of John's Towing in Medina County. They towed our Medic 1 back from Akron Children's Hospital and did not charge us a dime for that tow back. So we're
Is that
very
common?
no.
I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was, I'm very thankful they did that, because that would have probably been a pretty hefty, it's not just like throwing a little passenger car on the back of a tow truck, I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful that they, did that free of charge, so they towed it back to our station and the next day we had the tires replaced, so. And then under grants, still status quo in the grants, the last grant that was received was the EMS reimbursement grant for $3,434.83. That's all I have unless the. Oh,
Questions? Chief?
thank you.
Guys. Mr. Pittsburgh.
July's reports. Processed 4.14 million gallons of wastewater. Filed the monthly EPA reports, performed all the required operational testing, and performed all the routine equipment maintenance. Here in Village Hall, we had a heating and cooling unit replaced. In the streets, we removed village properties. We repaired the front end on the 550, and we performed crack sealing down on South Leroy Road. In the cemetery, we set a headstone foundation, performed one burial. Parks, we prepped ball fields, and in zoning, they issued a couple of permits. And that was a month.
Questions for Dave?
Anything happen on that sidewalk over on the?
Yes, I talked to the homeowner. Turns out that it was far enough back they do own the tree. She wasn't attached to it, so we're gonna have to remove that tree and then fix the sidewalk.
I noticed there's a similar situation on Virginia between Roberts and Pickering's house.
This is something new. We had one a couple years ago where we pulled it up.
Well,
We cut it out.
it's probably maybe in front of the old Bedner house, but I'm not sure.
I'll take a look at it tomorrow.
I walked it. Bill's probably rolling in his grave. We probably need to take care of that.
I'll take a look at it.
Thanks.
Anything else for Dave? All right, mayor's report. We had one ticket was transferred to Wadsworth. The water plant I had on there, but Rick already covered that. So that's all I have. Law director. What's that? Oh, excuse me.
Oh, boy.
I just didn't wanna.
That's good. No, that's funny. That's funny. I don't know. Do you want to comment? I wasn't gonna comment.
Okay, then, yeah.
Well, you,
I
that
thought Bob
horse
was
has left the barn now, you may as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Enlighten us
if you
all.
have comments,
I
you
don't have
got,
any-
you
I
got
do
it
not have
right in
any-
front of you.
Oh, I got that.
Yeah, I don't have any comments on the letter. I just,
Yeah,
in the past, you've addressed it, they've come in.
well, they come so often, but,
With that being said, I don't have any.
Can I comment?
sure.
I was at the range the other day, and I don't know, for all those of us who live in the village, I think it's best when we come home at night and we see these lights on the golf course. The golf course, the north golf course, of which Mr. Cox lives on, is mowed 95% by Husqvarna lawnmowers that are electric, battery powered, run 18 hours and get charged. And if I stop for a minute, this will give you an idea how loud they are.
I found it interesting. I'll paraphrase from the letter. I feel that this is in with regard to the mowing. I feel certain there is not a single member of this council who would allow such a situation to continue on their own property. Perhaps Mr. Cox forgot or was never been aware that I live 6 houses up from him on the same driving range. I've never heard a lawnmower. So I don't know. Maybe his house isn't insulated.
Well.
And the only other thing is, I too live on the golf course, and unfortunately, I could say, to go against Mr. Cox, I live closer to a green than he does. And the lawnmowers that are used to mow the greens are battery powered.
Yes.
And the only thing I hear is the hum of the rotary blades. You don't hear a lawnmower unless they're trimming the
grass, which doesn't occur until after 7 o'clock.
This really deserves very little, if any, discussion. I mean, I'm just, because this is the 74,000th one of these. And
Maybe it's time for sale sign.
I've told him time and again that this is him and the insurance company. And it's not us. And I would tell you that I know the insurance company. Maybe I have more I should say if I said not say much, but they are becoming frustrated to the point of moving in the other direction. Because there are some things that have happened there that, of course, the letter doesn't reflect, that has them ready to give up and just do what they need to do, so to speak. So I wish Bob would have come tonight and could have, because he said he was going to. And he could have spoke to this thing. I was not going to bring it up because.
My bad, I didn't put words in your mouth.
No, I didn't know what you were talking about. I just, I thought maybe it's something legal to talk
No,
about.
I don't say anything there that would have anything to do with me.
Okay.
And I don't have any other update.
Yeah, your points are well founded, but
I think you need, there's always there's another side of it.
And I think Mr. Oaks, as well as myself, live on the golf course. And
well, when you get to talking about the crabgrass from the neighbors, then you're really getting down there. So
Literally in the weeds.
in the weeds.
There you go.
Val, what do you
That one's
got?
for free.
I'm all good.
You're all good. You got nothing. Okay. Nothing. Strokes.
I have nothing.
Robs. Okay,
Before you ask for your motion, there are two topics for executive session.
yes,
So whoever makes the motion would be purchase property and vehicle.
and personnel. Yes, I have made that mark here. We do need an executive next meeting is September 2nd. We do need an executive session. It would be for purchase of property and personnel. I would ask that somebody move a second and do a roll call, and we'll go into executive session. So
Second.
Now,
Here.
yes.
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Amy,
well, I'll be here for the first one.
Greg,
You're gonna ask me.
I will not be here on this.
everybody at the table stays, everybody else leaves. I'm just gonna make a quick stop.